Yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining in today. Um, I'm gonna be a guest on a program today. But we're gonna be joining them live. So I will wait for them to start, and then I will join in. For the conversation tonight, and I can it's going to be a very powerful section. I can see Mr. Chid Kader. Mr. Chid Kader, you're welcome. Thank you. Please kindly request to join the broadcast, Mr. Chid, so that I can let you in. Mr. Chid, you're welcome. Okay, so I'll be receiving the request shortly from Mr. Chid Kader so that he can join. And then I can also see Mr. Kenneth Eze. Okay, Mr. Kenneth Eze, you're most welcome to tonight's broadcast. Please, Mr. Chid Kader, can you kindly request to join the broadcast so that we can add you and get the broadcast started right away. Tonight, just like we did mention, we'll be discussing the subject, Kakistocracy. Okay, so I'm trying to request leading the best in the society. I mean, it's an anomaly and it ought not to be so. So we'll be reviewing that together to find out, with a view to find out how that can be addressed. How we can actually have the right set of people, taking the lead in the nation. Because it's very important to have the very best taking the lead. Okay, Mr. Chidi, is there any challenge? No, I have requested. Kindly request to. Okay. I can see. I already requested to join. Okay, Mr. Chidi, can you please send your request again? I think someone else was also sending a request, and that tend to. Okay, let me see. Night broadcast, joining us all the way from Canada. Okay. It's my pleasure to have you tonight. Yeah, my pleasure too. My pleasure. How are you? Yeah, good. I think right here in Nigeria is about 7 p.m. What's the time in Canada? Now is 2 minutes past 2. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I can't see your face. I can't see your face very well. I'm seeing only half of your face. Okay, is it better now? No, no. Is it better? No, not yet. We can't see your mouth. Okay. Okay. Yes. Is it better? Is it brighter? No, not being bright. Is it brighter? I'm not seeing the whole of your face. Okay, I see. So are you satisfied with what we have now? Yes, now I can see the whole of your face. So thank you so much, and of course, just to also let our audience know that this same thing is also happening live on the Worship Media YouTube platform. Please, can you let us know about the Worship Media platform? 60,000 subscribers. Okay, well, Worship Media platform is just our own contribution to just trying to improve humanity. We go there, we say it like it is, we try to report things the way we see it, and we stand up for people when we think they're being marginalized. And that's just what we do. We do our best. I and my wife manage that platform. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we also have a website. We're into so many things, but let's just keep it there for now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So tonight, like we did when we reached out to you,
Yeah.
we did tell we'll be discussing Kakistocracy
Yes.
as against the supposed practice of democracy that we have in Nigeria.
Yes.
Democracy is supposed to be the government of the people, and of course, by the people and for the people. But many argue that in Nigeria, what we actually practice is kakistocracy,
Mm-hmm.
a situation where you have the least qualified, leading the best. How did we get here as a nation? Can you shed more light on kakistocracy and what really brings a country to that point? In consonance with what Joseph Mestri, who made this assertion that people get the leadership they deserve. Do we really deserve these caliber of jokers we have as leaders at all levels in Nigeria?
Well, thank you so much, Okenwa. I went about looking for that word, and I think that word should be copyrighted to you. That's kakistocracy. Anyways, how did we get here? Long story, but well, not very complicated. And let me start from where the last the quote you made about the people get the leadership they deserve. Look at Nigeria now. If you analyze Nigeria's situation, we wanted next level, as it were. We know it's not everybody, but technically we wanted next level. So what we're getting now is what we requested. Now the market where we buy, now we they see now. Nobody, now we by ourselves say this is the right one. So that is what it means by people getting the government that they deserve. We deserve what we're getting because we have an opportunity to do different, but we didn't choose that opportunity. Okay, kakistocracy. That's a perfect a perfect analysis of the government we have in Nigeria because we run a constitution that is not actually a constitution of the people, by the people, and for the people. No, even the one that looked as if it was the constitution of the people, by the time the military, which are the Kaki boys, by the time they came in, it is their constitution that we're operating right now. And that is the first madness. That's the first madness that you cannot understand, that people who are supposed to be practicing a democracy allow themselves to be governed by a constitution that was given to them, was perfected by the military. So that's why we are having what we're having today. So that's how we got up. That's why we got to where we are today. I don't want to go into the history of the First Republic and what happened and the military coups, but we are here practicing what we are practicing, having the kind of government that we are having, because it is like the manual we're using, the manual for the government that we're using is the manual that was given to us by the military, by the Kaki boys. So that's why we have kakistocracy.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I'm aware that last year you ran for gubernatorial elections in Enugu State.
Yeah.
Even though all this while you've been resident in Canada.
Yes.
So what really motivated you, to answer that call, to serve, bring out yourself and run for election, even considering the fact that you're already aware that the ground is not level?
My brother, but see, Ephraim, I really want you to be seen well. I'm not seeing you very well. I think you need to move back a little bit, and so that we can see the whole of your face. Yeah.
Okay, is it better now?
Move back a little bit. Move back a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, that's much better. I like it. I like it now. I don't want you to be lost in the whole thing.
Okay.
So, my brother, fine boy like
Okay.
you, people will need to see all your features. But let's get serious here, my brother.
Thank you.
I I left Enugu State, but Enugu State never left me. That's why my foundation is called My Roots Foundation. Before I left, I was very much involved in what was going on. I've always been busy, and this is I'm not sounding like I'm giving a political manifesto, but I've been very, very active back home, from my secondary school days, from my university days. If you ask anybody about me, they know me, those that were in my set. And when I finally left home for Canada, I was everything in me was still longing and dreaming of how to make our place a better place. I am from Umuchuku in Umuane, in Ozara, in Nkano West Local Government of Enugu State. You see how I'm taking you to my roots, Gogo. When I got to Canada, I immediately got involved. Like, I hit the ground running, and I ended up, I think, in my second year here in Canada, I became the president of the Enugu State Association. And as the president of Enugu State Association, I had just come into the country newly. I didn't even know anything, but immediately I was like, I wanted our people to be seen. I wanted our people to be projected. I saw that we are not visible where other Igbo people were. So I became the president of Enugu State Association. I organized the first trade mission or whatever, like a trade fair that we did. Then Governor Sullivan was there. He sent 3 commissioners. It was an awesome thing that we did. And through my foundation, me and my wife, we kept sending things back home. We were helping people in school. Then finally, because of my contact with Nigeria, with what was happening back home, when Omoyele Sowore started the Take It Back movement, I was about to run for councillorship here in Canada, in Toronto. And when he came, and I was talking with him, I said, yes, we went to the mayor's office and all that. I was telling him about the government here, how I've made contacts here, how I'm close to the government here, and how I wanted to run for councillorship, because I went ahead to become the president of the Nigerian Canadian Association here. Sowore just told me that, hey, bros, these people here, their place is already okay. Things are working here. Let's go to Nigeria. That's where we need to help our people. And then I agreed with him, and that's when I started nursing that desire to come back home. And of course, we came back with the Take It Back movement. When we came to try, because we were pissed off with the system in Nigeria, we knew it was not working. But when we came back, we saw that we couldn't just become we couldn't just be talking about the government or trying to make a change if we did not make that change through a political platform. And so we went on to form the African Action Congress, and I now ran under African Action Congress as the governorship candidate for Enugu State. So that's how it happened.
Okay, thank you so much. So in between the time when you lost that particular intention, and by the time you were already through with the race, what difference can you say you observed between the you imagining yourself in that race and then the you that is experienced after you must have gone through all of the processes, starting from the phase of aspiring to that of candidacy. I'm sure you must have had certain expectations, and then after you must have matched that with your experience. What difference can you say you came up with in your mind?
My brother, when I looked at the situation back home, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what was on ground. You understand? You don't have to be. The situation was completely hopeless. This is the same Enugu State that when we were children, well, in 32 the road, that's Enugu, that's where I grew up. Water was running up in the one-story building. There was water coming out of the shower. When this water was not coming out of the shower, there will be water running in the yard. There's always water, tap, pump. There's pump in the yard. Water will be running there. If water is not running in the pump, then you go down to the street, to public pump. Water will be running there. This was in the 70s. And I look at Enugu right now, government house in Enugu buys water. That was so shameful. I looked at Enugu State, you go to Akwata, and Oka, maize that they sell on the street, that is a staple thing in Enugu, was being imported, shipped in from outside Enugu, and so many other things that we looked at, and we wrote down a manifesto that we called the mega agenda for Enugu State. And when I came in, my impression was that when I came and broke this thing down for the people, because these were the same thing that they were complaining about, and I just took the basic things. I didn't want to get complicated. 9th Mile, where they go to buy water for government house, is just 10 kilometers away. And any government that cannot, this is pipe-borne water, just transport water through gravity, through a 10-kilometer distance, any government that couldn't do that was highly irresponsible. Just provide water for the people. And then you talk about electricity and so many things. So I thought that when we came and we tried to not even expose them, try to walk along the path of the problems that the people were already experiencing, and show them how we can bring about the solution because we broke everything down and we showed them how it was possible. When we came, my brother, the same people that were suffering this same thing, you would have thought that they'll be jumping up and saying, Messiah has come. These same people were busy asking you for 1,000 naira, asking you na kenkiji webia. Nah, man, cause this guy is just speaking English. Is this grammar that we will chop? We were warning them, my brother. The politicians in Enugu State, they were laughing at me and my people. They did not care about manifesto. They didn't care about manifesto. All they did was they gather people together. They share rice, beans, this one, that one. Then when you come to talk to the people, they will say, which one did you bring? See, this person even brought this one for us, brought this one. One woman, I asked her, all of those things that you saw that was packed, that the politicians brought, how much did you get? He said, I got something. At least I got 2 packets of Indomie. And when they shared the money, they gave us, like, I got 200 naira. Do you understand? She saw the whole thing, big, bags of rice. So, to answer your question, I have moved from a situation where I've come to the conclusion that, a lot of people were saying, you just come back from abroad, this one, that one. I was trying to tell them that all of these things that we are talking about, all of these things we are trying to establish and make good, my children, and I'm not saying this to brag, but my children are not going to come and use these hospitals. My children are not schooling in these schools. I live in a place where I have everything that I need. It is because I know that these things don't exist. In fact, it is funny that after we've come and gone, some people have the guts to still be contacting me and asking my opinion and say, me, when I was with you, I was trekking all over the market. We enter your market, dust full everywhere. Sometimes I buy gal and pure water to try to make you hear what I'm saying.
Okay. Let me quickly interject.
Okay.
Yeah, you did mention expectations that people had on you.
Yeah.
And of course, people that were celebrating, they had some noodles to themselves. Maybe they partook in the sharing, at least the 200 naira and all the rest. Could that be part of the reason why good people do not win elections, because they are not ready to roger the boys and the girls?
No, my brother. See, anybody who goes into election, and thinks that, look, election doesn't cost money, that person is a madman. Election is synonymous with money. You must spend money. Like, there was a time I was talking with my party and we're planning a rally, and I was telling them, you see, we need to spend this money on the boys that will come out for a rally. And somebody said, no, our party does not give people money. No, we don't do that. I broke it down for the person. I said, these guys are going to come out with us in the morning. They are going to stay with us. They will shout. They will make noise. They left their house. They left the job that they will do for the day. Okay? And so who is going to feed them? Who is going to take care of their transportation coming to your place and going back? Maybe they took keke napep, or they took drop, or they took... So all of these things demands that you would have to take care of the people who are coming to work with you. And when you go to do a campaign in a locality, people have gathered, they've come to listen to you. Nothing wrong in giving them refreshment. Those other things we did, the election I ran, my brother, if I tell you how much I spent, election costs money. So, but there are some kind of Roger that I will not find myself doing. No. If I am going to win an election, if I am going to run an election and win, it has to be on my own terms, because when they Roger you, they will have to recover that money that they used to Roger you. So yes, that is part of the reason why some good men, in quote, because I'm just a normal person, I don't consider myself an angel, but that is part of the reason why these good men don't win elections in Nigeria. And somebody will say, Chidi, don't generalize. But man, I will generalize to a very big extent, because what I saw, the kind of money that I saw people spend, the kind of things they suggested to me, made me just shudder at what is possible in Nigerian politics. There are things I cannot even say on the air that I saw and I heard people that I respected, that they actually opened their mouth to tell me about it. I was stunned. I'm telling you.
Okay. Let's quickly talk about structure,
Okay.
especially as it has to do with the platforms that most technocrats that have something to offer choose to come from.
Yeah.
Because several people share the opinion that the two major parties in Nigeria, the PDP and APC, are only two sides of one coin.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we have people like easily migrate from one party to the other, and then back to the other. Is more or less like back and forth without any ideological interference. Because some persons have argued there is no ideology at the first place. But then the concern is that the likes of you that ran for governorship never, come up on, or maybe like parties that with strong structure and all the rest. And so I want to ask, when Nigerians talk about structure, what exactly do they mean?
When
Are they actually talking about parties with big money?
No,
Structure is here about, because I still see the same people that attend PDP rallies and APC rallies. It's all about the sharing, it's all about the money. So what does people actually mean by the structure? Do they actually have that amount of members they brag about? We have the grassroots, we have people all across. Is it about the money power, or about people, real people that are carrying members of those political parties?
My brother, when you talk about, you see, Nigeria is already a hopeless case. A lot of us mentally we have seceded from Nigeria. We have left Nigeria. I'm telling you, we have, and I have no apologies about that. You see, the people, and one day, it will be the day for the people, and the people will make our politicians and our leaders who have put us in this mess we find ourselves in. We'll make them pay for it. We will make them pay for it, because they were in a position where they could have done better, but they didn't do better. They corrupted the system. They messed up the people, so much so that you're talking about jumping from party to party. They have made ideology. Which kind of ideology? The ideology is how much money do they have in their coffers, in their war chest, and how much money when they make plans in these political parties, they spend so much time and energy planning how to share money. They have people who will give people, who will they share money, how will they share, very perfect plans. They spend more money, they spend more time developing structures for winning an election than they develop structures and plans for governing. Everything about politics in Nigeria is how to, it is concentrated on how to win that election, not how to actually govern. Because you will see that when they want to share money, they use their structure perfectly. They know how to, in fact, when I was coming to meet with a certain group, it's a market group, I won't mention the market, I was trying to hold a meeting with the market union when this other party was not just talking about the market union, but they have groundnut sellers union, they have Okpa women sellers union, they have motor park. Do you understand? They are that, they've broken it down to, and they know how to this is all because they want to share money to these people. That tells you that if not because of wickedness of people, when they get into power, they can also use that system to reach people to their doorstep because they know where these people live. So
very correct.
These big parties, they are just wicked. That you see, APC and PDP. Apologies to my friends who are in those parties. I don't regard them as anything. I don't respect them. I don't have any atom of respect for them at all. They are not political parties. They are just, like Nnamdi Kanu will say, a group of janjaweeds. That's what they are. Honestly, they know each other. Forget what they do. They know each other. They crossbreed. They cross-pollinate. Can you imagine? Look at somebody like Obaseki. 1 second he's in PDP. This is the most recent. He's in APC. PDP is tackling him, saying this, that. The next minute he quarrels with them. He goes to PDP, and the same people are hailing him in PDP. That's just a clear definition of the system we have in Nigeria. So when they talk about this structure, it is not a good structure. It is structure of how to divide money, to deceive the people, to manipulate the people. And when they have manipulated the people, when they have made them useless, all of them will run away to Abuja or wherever they come, and you will see them again until after 4 years.
Okay, let's talk about the trajectory, the political trajectory that we've been able to find ourselves. And that is the fact that this leadership keep rotating around the wrong, same old set of leaders, who have refused to allow the nation to make progress.
Yeah.
And one of the trajectory that have been set also in recent times is for governors to finish and then retire at the Senate. And then you also have the same old generals that spoiled Nigeria coming back to lead. So how are we going to actually re-hijack this country from the hijackers? Because it does appear they are holding, the Jagabans of this world are holding this country bound, and they are not ready for one moment to let us at least gasp for air, just for a moment. How do we actually, take back? I mean, AAC said take back. Take it back.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm sure that after AAC must have tried at all levels, AAC must have also discovered that it's not really easy, because the people you want to take it back from, they're actually holding the country, I mean, like so tight. So how do we actually take back Nigeria from this wrong set of leaders?
It's very simple. Revolution. Anybody who thinks that Nigeria can be taken back, because I like what you say, hijack. Anybody who thinks that the people who are holding power in Nigeria are ready to offer it to you on a platter of gold, that person is dreaming. It is not possible. These people, I was watching a video, an interview by Fatherland of one Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where they were talking about Nigeria, and I did a program on that before I came on yours. my brother, you will see that from the origin, that the plans that the British people have for Nigeria is a useless plan. They are in cahoots with these northerners, and it is something that has been sealed and signed, sealed and delivered. They are not going to, any time that you have seen that any other person apart from the Fulani oligarchy touched power, it was by accident, not because they willfully tell me which one time they willfully gave you power. No, it's not when Yaradua died, this person happened, that coup happened. That's the only time. So these people are not going to let you be at all. They will not let you be. The only way out is for you to take the power by your own hands. However you're going to do it, you have to take this power by your own hands. And that is why we have called for a revolution. You're right. When Take It Back movement came, we've been evolving. We came as Take It Back movement to point out to people that, look, it is time for you to take back your country. They said, oh, if you know you're serious, go and register a political party. We went a step ahead. It was not easy, but just to show them that we are committed in what we are doing, we registered a political party. When we now came and ran, we did not allow any money back. There were so many people that came with money. We showed a brand of politics that people had not seen in Nigeria. We raised our money by ourselves through GoFundMe. We were talking, we were using the platforms. When we came and ran for an election and we saw how these people behaved, we now said, no way. The only way out is a revolution. That is the solution to the problem. If you are still waiting to go to the polls and win these people, you will never win them. You will, and I talk like somebody who is a member of African Action Congress. Somebody say, Haba, Chidi, why are you talking like this? Your party, you will not win them with this system. If they don't win you by giving money to the voters when they are going to vote, they will win you by giving money to the INEC officials so that they will change your result down there. If they don't do it, they do it at local government level. If they don't do it, they will wait. Between where you did that collation and Abuja, they will change the result. Even if they announce it and you win, they will tackle you.
Okay, just a moment. Let me get your concept about the word revolution.
Yes.
I mean, it's a word that has become controversial
yes.
in contemporary Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when someone mentioned revolution, I even, we saw sometime last year, the FG showing how uncomfortable they were with that word. And we even saw the likes of Shower being charged for treason, for calling for revolution, and to the government, it's a call to overthrow the government that was in place. Do you share that mindset, that line of thought with the government, that revolution is all about change the government that is not working and get them replaced? Or is there any other thing about this revolution that we can...
See, let me tell you the truth. There is no beating about the bush about revolution now. We are very, very clear in our stand. It's just that the people we are dealing with are very, very wicked people. What we came to do, because this is not our struggle, our duty is to open the eyes of the people. That's why you see me, I'm just combining too many things. I can be a gentleman with my school tie and everything, but I'm having this hat and this bandana as a protest. That's why you see me like this. I'm the gentleman, but inside me is this rebel mindset. We want a total dismantling of the government. Whether you want to call it academic revolution or agricultural, everybody knows the truth. And when maybe we'll talk about it a little bit, why good people won't win an election. We have become a country that deceives itself. We go and stand in the mirror. We see ourselves. We see that we're a man. We turn around. Somebody asks us who are we. I say I'm a woman. No, I stand in the mirror. I say, Chidi. This is Chidi. Somebody will ask me, hey, what's your name? I say, my name is Ephraim Chukwuma. That's the country that we have become. So why is the government afraid? Why are they afraid? If you are doing something, see, do you know that if that government had allowed us to just have our demonstration quietly, nothing would have happened. Do you know that? We would have just had the demonstration and it would have ended. But because they are jittery, why are they jittery? Because Omoyele Sowore met with Nnamdi Kanu in US, the meeting that I helped to facilitate. And that was what made them start panicking. A whole country with all their army and everything. They said he's planning with Nnamdi Kanu to come and overthrow them. Can you imagine? This is the kind of security we have in Nigeria. So revolution is revolution. If they want to keep on debating and running around and deceiving themselves. But let me tell you one thing, my brother. Let me tell you fact of the matter. You see, the revolution that we talked about, the one that we gave them, that one is supporting film. Because a true revolution is not announced. It is not televised. You will not know. It will happen on you. The George Floyd effect that you did on your platform, that was a revolution. Nobody planned it. It happened. So don't worry. For all of them, don't worry. The thing has been prepared. The gunpowder is there. The match is close by, very close by. Well, one small thing will make it tip over. When it happens, you will not see Sowore to catch. It won't be about Sowore. So don't worry.
Okay, but many have actually argued that the issue of revolution, it's most unlikely in Nigeria, considering the multiplicity of our ethnicity and the fact that there is no unity of purpose. The very fact also that the likes of Bella expressed their concern, the Nigerians are afraid of the very air they breathe. So with this kind of mindset that you think that Nigerians visibly have no unity of purpose, it is today like in cases when we see like people dragged internationally. If it's an Igbo man, you see people, oh, he's an Igbo man, Yahoo man, boy, and all the rest of it. If it's Yoruba, we take all of those sides and stuff like that. And we also see that when people are victimized, do you see that some of these concerns being a challenge to having that unity of force and of purpose that can be able to drive the much needed revolution?
No, I don't see that as so. We have unity of purpose. We have a common denominator. We are joined together in one union. We are united by hunger. We are united by mosquito bite. We are united by heat in the night. We are united by no NEPA. We are united by no hospital. We are united by potholes in the road. We are united by, you see all these things I'm mentioning to you, we are united by them. All of us are feeling it. And just like I have told you, go and mark my word, the day that it will happen, that day you will know. Have you seen Nigeria? Have you seen where they are playing football? You see how united we are? Okay. When they are playing football, when they shout goal, everybody hugs each other. That is how one day we'll all be hugging each other when this revolution happens. Because I know it will happen.
Don't you think this one day, we've actually waited for this one day for decades, and we've not really seen anything near it to show that likely the cloud is going to get filled someday.
It will. It will happen.
We've not really seen that concerted action all across, like sweep through.
No.
Like I give an instance, like in the case of the Shide protest, where we saw like the police using live bullets on protesters, and one could feel that that concern that these are Nigerians, the court has spoken that El Zazaki should be released. He's a citizen of the country. The court has spoken, and then people are protesting, peacefully, and then you see the police using live bullets and all the rest, and everybody just go above. There was no resistance. We couldn't see much engagement. It was more or less like, okay, I am not a Shite, I am not affected, so it doesn't really affect me as a citizen. How do we really get over like some of those kind of attitude as a people?
My brother,
it's really quite alarming.
No. What we are in our own moment of history and transition. We have to go through that period. There was a time when people like Mandela, they were doing what they were doing, and somebody said, how is it possible? How, you cannot do it. They proved him right by throwing him into prison at a point. They shot live bullets at them. But what finally happened today is South Africa still an apartheid country. And so many other people. This liberation struggle is something that is an uphill task. It is not easy. But it takes the sacrifice of a few committed men. And just like we say in the Christian world that the coming of Jesus Christ is nearer now than when we first believed. Let them go ahead and do what they're doing. Let them enjoy. We had Abacha now. Who knew that we were going to survive Abacha? We had so many other people in the past. These too shall come to pass. Igbo people say that it will happen. And that is the one thing we have to keep telling our people. It doesn't matter. The people who are engaged in this struggle, they will keep on pushing. The fact that the government is reacting to it shows that what we're doing has an effect.
Okay. Let's quickly talk about strategy, which is very important. Because I believe in the art of war. When you want to, you want to unseat people that have been there for years, you actually need a well mapped out strategy.
Yep.
Which we have not seen much of that from technocrats. We have like some parties that registered 8 months to time, to compete with some parties that have been there 16 years over time, and in as much as 2023 is still very far, but then the conversation of who become president, who become governor, like right now in Enugu, we already have like up to 15%, right? Who in one way or the other has demonstrated interest that, they want to run for this particular position. What strategy do you think the technocrats, people that actually have vision, need to put in place early enough to ensure that, there can be that increased chances of actually engaging with the bad boys in the battlefield? Because this is a battle, but I don't think our people that ready to enhance and improve the conversation has been able to demonstrate the readiness to do something different from the usual fire brigade approach. What's your thought on this?
But my brother, my thought on this is the brand of politics that we play in Nigeria, the way it is structured. I'm not the kind of person, because it's almost like if you cannot beat them, you join them. You see, amongst all the people that ran for governorship during my time, the only person that I have respect for is Keno Uzodimma. He ran in another party. And even though we were political opponents, but you could see us blending like we were brothers. Because that is what the people need. But unfortunately, do you think people always get what they should get? So it's left for them. We have given them options. See, if you are still waiting for the right structure to be able to compete for election, which kind of election are you competing for? Which kind of leadership position? This leadership position that is built on a foundation that is very, very faulty, I'm almost not even interested in that anymore. So the people who are interested in the politics that as it is played in Nigeria, and I can tell you, if you want to play it that way, there's no way your hands can be clean. So let them go about doing their own thing. Let them focus on election. When this revolution wave comes, it will sweep all of them. People like me, I'm not interested in forming a political structure that will compete with them, because the ground is not level. The ground is already tilted. What are you telling me?
Okay,
Hold on.
Yes.
You want me?
Don't you think there's anything we can do to address this?
The only thing we
because
can
if
do,
we just leave it the way it is, that means
it is to dismantle the
system. That
system.
there's no more hope again for us as a people.
I'm telling you, of course. Now that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no more hope. You don't. Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't know. You don't know what. You don't know what's happening to you.
I beg to disagree.
Hey, you don't know what's happening to you.
I beg to disagree.
Check out here, guys, my brother. Wait, let me tell you. Oh, you don't know. You don't know. Let me tell you.
That's why we actually.
There's no hope.
We're actually having this conversation.
No. Okay, so do you want me to tell you?
To address issues.
Do you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, say the truth, of course, but I think.
No, you can't tell me to tell you the truth and you still say but you think. Just wait, let me tell you the truth. The truth is that you are finished. No, you are finished. So, as a people, as somebody said, there's still hope, sir. Which kind of hope? Hope from where? Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh my goodness, I'm trying to. Oh jeez, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
My volume, my audio here is all these people that keep on calling, so my audio is affected. I'm gonna try to. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay now.
Okay, but I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, people are calling
Okay.
on this. Please, people should stop calling. I don't know how to make them stop calling. So, what I'm telling you, my brother, is unless, remember you said, the people get what they deserve. You know why I've given up talking about the present governor of Enugu State or the system that is there? Because anything you say, they say, oh, you're a sore loser. But look around you now. Just look around you in the country and in the state. And if you don't like what you're seeing, that means you are always getting it wrong. Do you know this? It's madness for you to keep repeating the old thing, the thing you're used to doing, and expect a different result. That is madness. If you've been doing the same thing and you keep getting the same result, unless you are prepared to change your system, unless you are prepared to adopt a new system, I can guarantee you that you are going to end up where worse. Not even if you could end up where you were, that's better, but you're going to end up worse.
Okay. Do you really think the technocrats, the visionary leaders, have actually made like a commensurate investment into politics? I see that there is this mindset that people actually bring to politics, where when it actually comes to business, people make investment, come to the future of their children, the education, they make lots of investment. But when it comes to like presenting themselves to serve, it's more or less like, see me, I am here to serve. If you love what you see, you vote for me, and all the rest. But then the noise of the bad boys wouldn't let even the people to appreciate who is before them. Do you really think we've had like visionary men making the appropriate kind of investment that is needed? Because I think like in the last presidential election where we have like Atiku and Buhari, taking over the major television station, once this person's advert is over, the presidential campaign advert, you have, the other. They were just doing that interchangeably in all of the major stations across. But like the new generation presidential candidate, like the likes of Showore, the likes of Mohalo, the likes of Peladuro Toye, the likes of Obieze Kwesele, it does appear there was not much money, invested for like some of those TV adverts to match, those men that even ran away from presidential election, debate. You remember that Atiku and Buhari, was not part of that debate. But Buhari, for whatever reason, was not able, against all expectation, to attend. And on that ground, Atiku that earlier appeared, said, well, he can't imagine himself, competing in a debate with the likes of Mohalo. He was actually there for the main candidate. And he had to enter his vehicle and disappeared. So, but it does appear there was no, no commensurate investment in the politics to actually make their voice to be heard, or a
No, no,
perception
no, no, no,
to
no,
be
no.
strong that they're
See,
actually strong candidate. What's your thought on that?
no, my brother. See, a bad man is a bad man. You see, a bad guy, wicked man is a wicked man. That is not about investment. Look, you set out on a race with people. There are rules of the game. They say everybody run on your lane. Oh, we take off. My investment in the thing is to play according to the rules. As we take off on the race, I didn't know that my partner had a cutlass. So immediately we took off. He just ran behind me and he cut my leg. Do you want me to go? That is his investment. And then he runs ahead and he wins the race. You understand what I'm saying? So it is, you have to look at, you have to define when you talk about this investment. Where they are investing, they have messed up the system. Fine. Let them keep making their investment in the wrong direction. And it seems to be working for them. But every day is for the thief, as they say. And that every day is by them winning constantly. One day is for the owner. I'm telling you. So that is purely what it is. Investment, the good people will make genuine investment. What kind of investment do you want me to make when me and my opponent, we all came out with 10,000 naira? That's what we would have invested. But only that my opponent is going to bring out 50,000. Why do you think he's bringing out 50,000? Because he got the extra 40,000 by being given the contract to build the schools, and he ate the money, and that's why school children are sitting on the ground. The other 10,000 that he got, he was given contract to build the road, and that's why he did not build that road, and that's why there's a pothole, and that's why there was an accident and 50 people died. The other 10,000 he got was money that was supposed to be used to supply drugs in the hospital. That's why the woman went to have a baby, and there was not even any light. The doctors were using their phones to do surgery, and the woman died and the baby died, and so many children died. That's how, I don't want to make that kind of investment. The good people will keep making our 10,000 investment. They will make their 50,000 investment. They will win. But one day, the revolution, when it comes, it will open their yash. And sorry for my French. We will see.
Okay. What are the recommended electoral reforms you think as a nation Nigeria need to consider at this point in time?
My brother,
because
there is no more. You see, there is so many things out there. We don't lack recommendation. We know the right thing to do. It's just that the people that are supposed to do it have refused to do it. I can't make recommendations that are much better than people who are more learned than. I'm not the wisest. I'm not the most professional when it comes to these things. The people who know better than me, they have recommended. It's just that they don't want to accept it.
But if there is any one particular from experience that you believe can help to strengthen the chances of technocrats,
the recommendation
who might be considering, yes, what is that one particular?
My recommendation is
greatly dissatisfied with.
My recommendation is
as a candidate.
Dismantle the system, do revolution. If you don't do revolution, nothing will work. That's my only recommendation.
Okay. Okay, so a revolution is needed.
That's all.
To dismantle the system.
That's all. If you don't dismantle the system, look at the people who don't respect your court. They don't respect police. Which recommendation? You just waste time. Who will read? The person that you're recommending to cannot even read.
Okay. So let's now as we begin to tidy up. Let's look at 2023.
Yes.
What do you think can be done differently ahead of 2023 by this? Because over the time before now, we don't even have people like you talking about serving in any way in the capacity you've done. But 2019 was one of the best years for me as a Nigerian, because I began to see people with credible records. The usual thing is that people are afraid of being stained They are afraid of being labeled a politician. But then we saw them like come take up the challenge to run for political positions, even though that the impact was not so much. But I think to a very great extent, having technocrats turn out for elections is quite commendable. What do you think? What do you see happening in 2023, and what can be done to strengthen the chances, of technocrats, professionals that, who have got track records?
What I want to promise you is that we have come and we ain't going back. You understand? Anybody who thinks they're going to scare us out of this whole thing, they are wasting their time. The only thing is that we are coming in a different style. Okay? We have come, we have seen, and we know what is needed. They will be busy waiting for us to come and meet them at the polls. That's not what we are talking about. So between now and that time, I am convinced that a chain of events will begin to happen, that will bring about, restoring it's not restoring the status quo, that will bring about restoring the confidence of the people in themselves, because it's no longer the people having confidence in leadership has failed them. And if it will take, listen my brother, if it will take Nigeria split,
it's actually timing us up.
Okay, sorry. But if it will take Nigeria splitting, it may take that, but whatever it will take, we will see it happen.
Oh, thank you so much. It's nice having you. We have to end here.
Thank you.
We've just been timed up.
Well, all right, guys. That is my interview on my brother's page, Okenwa CEO, and I'd like to thank all of you. You see, I wasn't looking at the camera because I was looking at my Instagram camera, but I can now look at you and thank you for being part of this interview. And we'll continue to do this thing as we look forward to a better society for everybody. Please leave me a comment if there's something you think I should have said better. I am always open to learning. Leave me a comment and let me read it, and then that will help me to become better when we try to do this the next time. All right, from all of us and here in the Worship Media Studio, Toronto, Canada, it is me saying, like always, that I love you. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.